Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel, and on today's episode, we will try to answer one of the most difficult interview question. What is your greatest weakness? This question is a bit tricky to answer because of course nobody really wants to point out what's wrong with themselves, right? I've been receiving a lot of messages from you guys asking me what is the best way for you to answer this question, followed up by because I can't really think of any weakness, like really. But anyway, this question is sometimes hidden in other forms of questions, like if there's something that you would like to change about yourself, what would it be and why? Or is there anything that you would like to improve on about yourself? So it's really just a matter of listening, because since it's a very common question, the recruiter might phrase it differently. So now, let's break this down. Here are my tips on how you can best answer this question, and keep on watching until the end of the video because I will be citing 2 examples to guide you. Tip number 1. Be self-aware. The reason why a recruiter might ask this question is to find out if an applicant can take ownership of their mistakes and how they can arise from it. You will never be able to answer this question if you have not taken the time to step back and look at yourself from an outsider's perspective. My suggestion, sit down, contemplate, or you can even ask your friends and make bullet points of the skills, habits, or personality that you would like to improve on. Don't ever make the mistake of saying, no, I don't have a weakness. Because, come on, we're all human and we all have our weaknesses. Saying that you don't paints a picture of arrogance and refusal to learn. Tip number 2. Find a weakness that will not jeopardize your recruitment. Yes, we say be honest, but don't be too candid because at the end of the day, you're still selling yourself and nobody really wants to buy damaged goods. Go back to the job description and put it side by side with your listed down weaknesses and find one that will not affect what will be asked of you once you are hired. Tip number 3. Avoid follow-up questions by answering completely. Make sure that your answer incorporates possible follow-up questions like, how has this weakness affected you in the past? Or how can I assure that this weakness will not affect your job once you are hired? Which brings me to my next tip. Tip number 4. State what are the steps you are taking or have taken to improve from this weakness. This shows the recruiter that you are indeed aware of it and you're taking the necessary actions to avoid your weakness from taking over you. Your weakness should serve as a learning tool. Tip number 5. Turn a negative into a positive, meaning you're gonna sort of disguise whatever strength you have and make it seem like a weakness. This can be a tricky response because recruiters are so tired of hearing answers like, oh, I'm a perfectionist, or I'm a workaholic, etc. So you have to learn how to disguise your strength as a weakness in a very subtle way. So now, taking all these tips into consideration, we're gonna try to answer the question, what is your greatest weakness? For example number 1, the scenario will be the applicant will be citing a weakness that he or she was able to overcome in the past. So it's not really gonna jeopardize the chances of getting the job. Well, speaking in English has always been an insecurity. We all know that English is the universal language. However, coming from a country where English is not really the first language made me uncomfortable in using it as a communication tool. This has affected me in the past where I avoided going to interviews like this because I felt like I'm not fluent enough. I realized that this insecurity is really stopping me from achieving my full potential and my dreams as well. That is why I took it upon myself to enroll to extra English classes and immerse myself in English-speaking crowds where I get to use English more often. By taking those steps, I felt more confident and more comfortable in using English when talking to people. So that is example number 1. In that scenario, the applicant was honest in saying that this is my weakness and these are the things that I did to overcome that weakness. If I were the recruiter in this scenario, my takeaway would be that this applicant is self-aware, has initiative, and is willing to learn. And who wouldn't want to hire somebody who has these 3 attributes, right? So now we're gonna go to example number 2. For this example, the scenario will be that the applicant will be using tip number 5, where he or she will be using a strength as a weakness. So let's see how this applicant is gonna answer the question. I have the tendency of doing everything by myself. I'm the kind of person who's into following the rules and regulations implemented by the company, and I always ensure that things are done the right way. That is why when I'm working with colleagues who are not doing things correctly, I just end up hoarding all the tasks and doing everything by myself. But then I realized that by doing so, I'm not giving my colleagues the opportunity to grow and learn as well. Instead of doing this, I learned that it is better to speak up and delegate tasks while reminding my colleagues that there are standards expected of us. Immersing myself in more team-oriented tasks and team-building exercises has really helped me in improving my delegation skills. So basically what the applicant is trying to say in this example is that she has a problem in delegating tasks. But what she was able to do is to turn a negative into a positive by incorporating an answer that has words such as, I am into following rules and regulations, I like doing everything the right way. So it shows the recruiter that this applicant is a person who's going to ensure that a job will be done correctly. So there you go, those are just two examples to guide you and help you in making up your own answer to this very difficult question. If you follow the tips that I have given you, I'm sure that you will be able to come up with an answer that is honest, unique, and impactful. I hope that you managed to find the answers you were looking for when you clicked on this video. And of course, if you enjoyed it so much, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Days with Kath. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hi. Paano yung sinasabi mo? Hi guys! Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel!